Hi, Emma here from Team Living Your Dream. And today, in the 7-minute success secrets, I'm going to talk a little bit about why reading is in the top 5, if not the top 2, 3, for the secrets of success. If you follow anybody who is ultra successful or the mega rich and famous, they will tell you that they read books, and they feed their mind with information. If you want to be good at anything you do, if you want to be the best, you need to read. You need to give yourself, you need to feed your mind information around that. It's very arrogant of us to think we know what we're doing. When I started doing this, I thought, yeah, that's right up my street. I know about internet marketing. Now I realise, after having read so much stuff from people who are mega successful doing what I'm doing, the ones that are up there earning $250,000 a month, the millionaires and the billionaires, is that I knew an nth of what I now know. And then just to show you, it's a subject that I thought I was au fait with. But since I discovered reading again with a vengeance, things have gone from strength to strength. And there's a very good reason for that, of what's going on in your brain. For a start, right, if you're not in a great place in your life right now, and you do a lot of thinking about stuff, a lot of worrying about your pressures, your stresses, worrying about money, worrying about too much work, if you've got all that stuff going on in your head at the moment, your brain, your conscious brain, can only think about 5 to 7 things at a time, plus or minus 2. So you fill your brain with all that negative stuff. Basically, there's not a lot else that you can do. And what gets squeezed out? Your creativity, your learning. That's what gets pushed out to the side, especially the creativity. So when you need to think of what to do next, strategies, how to do things differently, what to do about a situation, even the situation that you're worrying about. If you want to think about new ways of tackling that, what you want to do is stop thinking about it, and your brain will come up with the answers. What you need to do instead is feed your brain with positive information. And your brain is so clever. Your subconscious, apart from the fact that you feed it with that information and it pushes out all the negative stuff, you cannot concentrate and read on a book, and think about the negative stuff at the same time. Okay, so it pushes it out. And you do it regularly. Every day you keep pushing that negative stuff, and you're allowing the creativity to come in again. And not only that, okay, your subconscious brain is so powerful, okay? It knows everything about you. It knows all about your problems. You don't have to think about them and keep reminding your brain about the problems you've got, or the stresses or the pressures you're under, whatever, or how you've got no money. You don't need to keep reminding your subconscious about that. It knows very well. It knows everything about you. Okay, so it's there in the background. You don't have to give it any attention, because whatever you give attention to, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, what you need to do is feed it with new information, new ideas, and new solutions. Okay, now what your brain will do is it will take whatever you're learning, okay, and anything that it picks up, your subconscious picks up, that is relevant for you or can apply to something that you've been thinking about, it will send that to your conscious brain. It will pick up on it. You will have these aha moments. I was out walking this morning, and that's how I tend to do it, actually, is I will listen. I will read for half an hour, and then I will listen to personal development audios or some sort of training audio or something, and I go out for a walk. Now, apart from the fact that I can't get distracted while I'm walking because I'm walking, it frees up my brain to listen. I'm doing exercise at the same time. Now, exercise grows brain cells. So exercise is about your brain and about your mental health. It's not about your body at all. That's just a great side effect. But while I'm out doing that, I was listening to an audio about something completely different. And I have this particular problem. I had written down in my ideas and inspiration book the night before or a couple of days ago. I'd written down about one of the things that I feel is a weak area of mine is syndicating my blog, is getting the stuff out there over the internet. And I just feel that's a personal area that I need to get better at. So I'd written it down there. Now I was listening to this audio, and I had been reading a book as well that mentioned outsourcing. Now I'd already thought of outsourcing for another area. I outsource a number of things, so I've already applied this, but I was been trying to recruit a freelancer for something completely different to help me with, which was been proving challenging. Just can't get the suitable person. So different ways around that. How can I approach that differently? Where else can I advertise it? Can I get somebody to help me with the outsourcing for that? Blah, blah. And I was focused on in my conscious brain, I was focused on outsourcing this particular skill, and how was I going to get that achieved? Okay. Now I was walking along this morning, and I was listening to an audio. Something was mentioned, and when I'm walking, I already had ideas. I have ideas and inspirations popping left, right, and centre. And suddenly it was like, bang! Why am I outsourcing that end? This is what I need to outsource. There are hundreds of people. I can easily outsource the backlinking and the syndicating and that side of things too. And they don't need to have these particular skills that are proving challenging to get. It's and that's what your brain does. And that's what your brain does when you're focusing on learning. You're focusing on solutions. You're not focusing on the problem and trying to solve a problem. Focusing on the problem is not going to find you a solution. Focusing on solutions does. And when you're educating yourself, when you're reading, that's what happens. And you get ideas popping off all over the place. And actually walking takes me a lot longer than it needs to, because I'm forever stopping and writing notes where I get these aha moments and inspiration. Okay, so that is feeding your mind with information, with new ideas, and which I know is obvious. I know that seems obvious, but doing it, you will be astounded about the overall effect it has in your life. It'll energize you, it will motivate you, it grows your brain cells, it fills your brain cells with stuff, and makes you wiser in all areas, because your brain, your clever subconscious, takes that information and applies it to many areas of your life, not just the problem you've been thinking about or the thing you've been trying to solve, or even what applies it to what you've been reading. It will take it and it'll weave it throughout your mind. You'll get these inspiration ideas coming back at you. Okay, and so that's one of the reasons why you need to read. Now, I want to just, before I finish off, I told you I'm trying to keep this short. If you want it, day before yesterday, when I was doing my 7-minute success secrets, I ran over. So I'm rushing a bit to try and keep this short. But I did want to show you my top 4 books. Actually, it was my top 3, but I was reading one last night. I've got to tell people about this. And I've got to read a quick chapter out of it. Don't worry, it's not a long chapter, it's a page, it's a paragraph. Right? And the first one I have been reading recently, and if you can see this, The Compound Effect. Okay, I read this again and again and again. Okay, every time you read it, The Compound Effect, it has more of effect. It is brilliant for keeping you motivated. Okay, so get this, The Compound Effect. If you haven't read it already, you are seriously missing out. Okay, so that's one. This is another one, brilliant. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It says on here it has sold something like 15 million copies. 15 million people cannot be wrong. Okay, so if you haven't read this already, get this. The other one I can't show you because I've listened to it on audiobook, and that's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. get that. That completely changed my way of thinking about money and investment and what I was doing. I was doing everything wrong. Changed my life, okay? And the last one I want to share, I've got to put my glasses on for this because I'm going to read to you. So, okay, brilliant book. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be, okay? And now I'm just going to read you a quick, it's not long, honestly, paragraph out of this, okay, that really jumped out at me because this is something that I used to do, okay, and this held back my success 6 months, okay. I could have been where I am now 6 months before I got there if I had known this, okay. And the chapter is, it's wrong to be right, okay. Being right is based upon knowledge and experience and is often provable. Okay, so I have the knowledge and experience from marketing. I know what I'm doing. Knowledge comes from the past, so it's safe. It is also outdated. It is the opposite of originality. Experience is built from solutions to old situations and problems. The old situations are probably different from the present ones, so that the old solutions will have to be bent to fit new problems and possibly fit badly. Also, the likelihood is that if you've got the experience, you'll probably use it. This is lazy. Experience is the opposite of being creative. If you can prove you're right, you're set in concrete. You cannot move with the times or with other people. Being right is also being boring. Your mind is closed. You are not open to new ideas. That is so important. You are rooted in your own rightness, which is arrogant. Arrogance is a valuable tool, but only if used sparingly. Worst of all, being right has a tone of morality to it. To be anything else sounds weak or fallible, and people who are right would hate the thought of being fallible. So, it's wrong to be right because people who are right are rooted in the past, rigid-minded, dull and smug. There's no talking to them. And do you know what? I can admit now, because I dropped the ego, I can admit that that was me 6 months ago. I didn't know it. I wasn't going around consciously thinking that, I'm smug and I'm right and I know everything. Of course I wasn't. I don't believe myself to be arrogant. But actually, going on behind the scenes, that's very much what was going on. The next chapter, it's right to be wrong. And it explains about why it's right to be wrong and stuff, and to be happy about being wrong, because it means you learn. And that's the major thing that I want to say, is that reading teaches you the stuff. You learn how to learn all over again, and it is absolutely wonderful. So start reading half an hour a day, every single day. It's nothing taking half an hour out your day to read a bit, but it will make a massive difference to your life. I think I've gone over again. Sorry. I will see you soon. Back in Go Zone next time. Bye.